Hi, my name is Clinton Erling, and I'm the president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Chamber's Business Review is an informative weekly television magazine of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We will showcase the activities of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, feature interviews of prominent business personalities, and broadcast our popular training seminars for the entire country's benefit. So please sit back and enjoy while we indulge your attention over the next half an hour.
The quickest way to trust is to listen. I guarantee you that. You want to change your perspective that people have of you as a leader, go back and listen to your people first. So we're going to try it. We want you to pair up with a person. We want you, one person, simply ask them questions, and then the other person, please answer the question. Don't say, I don't want to talk to you. Be kind. Just answer the questions, be cordial and accommodating. So after about 2.5 minutes, we're going to switch it, and then you get a chance. Now, we get some people who like to hijack conversations. They ask you a question and say, where do you live? Well, let me tell you where I live. Ask the questions, stay focused on the other person. You're going to do it for a while. So, and then after you ask the questions, then we're going to switch roles, and a person then going to ask you the questions. Got it? All right. So let's just find a person next to us. Let's pair up and find a person. And if you got three, you can kind of work together with three, right? Find a person next to you, and then I'm going to give each team, I got 3 minutes. I'm going to give each team 3 minutes to have a conversation. And here's the thing. Don't focus on the answers. Focus on the person. Just be with the person, okay? And I'm going to ask some questions at the end, all right? Everybody got a partner? Find a partner first. Now we're going to switch roles. If you were answering the questions, now you're going to ask the questions of a person. If you did it your own way, just continue to do it your own way. All right, so let's switch roles. If you were answering questions, now you're going to ask questions of the other person. All right, so just pick a person. All right, if y'all just going back and forth, that's fine. Just do your own thing for another 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes on the clock. All right, please go. Such a great time. All right, so let's see what we come up with, all right? And I'm going to ask for a few volunteers just to raise your hand. Now, in any listening opportunity, even getting to know people, there's great opportunities to find out some important information that can possibly motivate people and help them become engaged. So I'm going to ask you some responses. Just raise your hand up, and I'll just hear from a couple of you, or a few of you for each answer. How many of you all had something besides being at this event and working with this person in common with the other person?
We have a similar life goal.
Similar life going on? Okay, good. All right, who else? Guillermo, I heard your name.
Yeah, I met somebody that actually don't talk too much to other people. She doesn't know I am.
You like that as well? You just did it because you asked the questions, right?
It's the first time.
All right, there we go. Ann?
I found both of you in HR management.
Oh, both HR management together, just sitting right there and another HR man, so like things. So first, yes. I'm sorry, one more time? Wow, so you're finally got some of the same team each, you got some disengaged people, right? I'm joking. So we can find out in just a matter of 3 to 5 minute conversation things we have in common. All right, here's the second one. Let's go to another level. How many found something you found interesting about the other person? Something they did, like something interesting. Yes. Two significant teams? Achievements, great. Nice, okay, great, okay, all right.
My brother's been to 18 countries.
18 countries, wow. Show off. I only got 3, 4 countries. Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. What's the most impactful place you've ever been?
Mostly African.
African country? Wow, that's one place I haven't been yet. I gotta
The
go.
safest place in the world is Africa. Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, no calamities, natural calamities.
Wow.
But nobody feels it.
Really? Well, let's talk when we get it. I want to go train over there. No calamities. I don't have to worry about getting caught. All right, so one more thing, something interesting about the other person. One more. All right?
She likes the same thing in 3 different tones.
She likes the same thing in 3 different colors?
Tones.
Tones, okay.
Wide, and wide.
So we found, just so now we found something going out, something we had interesting. All right, what is the next one? The first 2 are obvious. We're good listeners, we can hear that, see it immediately. What are some of the things that motivates or drives a person? Something that you heard that say this person really motivated by. What's something you felt motivates or drives the person you listen to? All right, sir?
What I found interesting about him, I think is his passion to change the way community, civil society,
Just take it.
the way civil society view a particular community group,
Okay.
and also how the legal system is structured.
All right.
To facilitate.
I think I'm going to take it as a red. So feedback. So what you're saying, please disconnect it. Throw it away. Turn it up. Okay. So his passion for his topic. All right. So it won't turn off. It's off. Sure. Okay. So we find that we have some passion. One more. What motivates or drives someone else? Let's hear from someone else. Yes?
His passion to improve the quality of life.
All right. Again, the passion improves. So we see you have that in common, and also something that motivates or drives you. All right. So now we have what I have in common, what I find interesting, what motivates and drives a person. Last one. What is a couple people? What did the person value most? Something they value. What is it? Some things they value. Trust. Trust is important. What else do we hear? Family. So, if you could take the opportunity of finding out that I have something in common, something interesting, something that motivates the person, and what they value, what do you have? The things that motivate them. The things that motivate them. So thank you, that just need to be adjusted. So the things that motivates them. What can you do with this if you had this information? Now here's some sad news. And I'm just taking a shot here, and I could be absolutely wrong. If I am, I apologize. Some of you know the person sitting next to you that you talk to better than some of the people you work with for years. Because we don't think. Now, why is it important to know this information? And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. Hear my heart. People want you to know who they are besides what they do. What a person does their job, who they are, is the things they talk about. Everyone as leaders need to spend time getting to know your people. Not just what they do, who they are. Doesn't mean we have to be best friends, buddy, take care of it, but I want to know what makes you click, what motivates you. If I know that you have a passion of doing the right things, guess what I can do now? Respond to that in kind. If I know he has an interest in visiting different countries and in making a difference worldwide, I could provide value to that. Now I have the tools necessary to talk in terms of this person's interest. And many times we miss this because we think it's go to work, clock in, do the work, check out, we're gone. And we miss many opportunities to connect with people. So that's why just a simple, I tell every executive leader, before you put out your strategic plan, do some strategic listening. Identify what's important to the other person. Now, we talked about listening a lot. Now, check this out. And we'll start wrapping up. How many of us are, let's do the traditional thing. How many of us have heard, what's more important, speaking or listening? Listening. Everybody says listening. Okay, I agree. Listening is the right answer. How many of us at any time in our educational life or career have had some type of public speaking communication coach? Raise your hands. Look at all my hands. All right, raise your hands. All right, now, please hands down. How many of you at any point in your life had a listening class? Wow, that's more than normal. And that's a little more than normal. That's still about the average, about less than 20%. But all I ask the question. Now, here's what our society does, particularly in the United States. We throw more technology at listening. We make a bigger, quicker, faster phone. We get a different way of going virtual. We create all the technical infrastructures, but it doesn't make us better listeners. Because what is the I call the bus driver? Right? So listening is a skill, but it's not, listening is, everyone can listen, but to some, listening is a skill. So we just focus on listening and connecting with people. We reacclimate people, we bring people back in to the process of engagement. So as you look at this, here are the different levels. It starts from being different. If we just start making disengaged people feel valued, it starts to vote. Then they get esteemed, employed. Then we involve them. After we involve them, they get more involved because they feel that their ideas matter. And if they can feel enthusiastic as far as being part of the team, it gives us a sense of responsibility and importance. They feel a sense of ownership. So you can take a person from being devalued, and that's all engagement is. I think there's a direct correlation between disengagement and feeling devalued. The more valuable you make the person feel, the more valuable contribution. We reap what we sow. What are we sowing as leaders? So that's the levels of engagement. Now when you put the two together, the more value we make people feel, now we don't just say that we can just run off with our emotions, but as we listen to them, hear them, see things from their point of view, engage them appropriately, we add value to them. We increase their value. When you put money in a bank, do you want your money to depreciate or to appreciate? We want to appreciate our people, because when we appreciate our people, we increase the value of our companies. Not just with our products and services, not just with our processes. And you're going to see on these 3 pages, and this is going to be for you to listen as we move forward. Here are some of the things that you can do to help drive those 3 drivers. In other words, if you're going to believe in senior leadership, here's some things you can do. If you need satisfaction with the immediate manager, all your immediate managers, please look in the middle block. All right. Ask questions, be a good decisions, listener, support, discuss career direction. And here's some of the ways you can pride your organization. Get employee input, instill a sense of purpose. I'm a big purpose guy. Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe says, when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. One of the most powerful things I've ever heard in my life. If we don't know why we're working, we don't know our purpose, we will abuse it. It's just the natural correlation of life. So whether it's personally or professionally or corporately, people want to know what's your purpose, what our purpose, what is my purpose. We got to give purpose to people. And that's the success model. Again, the next steps for creating engaged employees. Now, how many of you feel, is to be able to get the emotional intellectual capital, how many feel that you've learned something new, possibly saw some insight? And this was common sense. All right? I agree. But would you agree that common sense is not always common practice? You see, that's the difference between knowing and doing. That's the difference from academia and training. It's Dale Carnegie Training. It's not enough just to know these things. It's how well we do these things. How well do we listen? How well do we empower people? How well do we do the work? And there's a difference also. There's a difference between common practice and common skill. I've been practicing my golf game, but I'm not any better at it. Because I didn't care the what? The skill. But I look good, though. I look real good. I can't play worth a darn, but I look really good doing it. But so it tells you that you can have common practice, but if you practice the wrong way, you create the wrong skills. So there's a big difference between knowing and skill. And that bridge is called training. So that's what we're going to do. So the engagement process is to create a culture that encourages engagement, measure engagement periodically. It's not a one-time. I know a lot of companies do engagement seminars and surveys. You want to do that, but you got to measure it. In other words, take a temperature of your people, develop an action plan to address the engagement, hold your managers accountable for engagement. Now, I'm going to say it again, it's not right to hold your company, your managers accountable if you don't give them the tools to be successful. A lot of times I see organizations do engagement surveys, they evaluate the managers on this engagement, but they don't give the managers the tools to be successful. It's like teach my kid to play any kind of sports and not give them the tools to be successful. Well, the same thing is true with our managers. And finally, recognize and reward the progress that you see in people. In other words, did you know that recognition is a form of accountability? Did you ever hear what gets rewarded gets repeated?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then recognition is a form of accountability. So hold people accountable, just not from the negative things they do. Hold them accountable for the things they do well and tell them. You know, can you tell your significant other just every 5 years how much you appreciate them? Some guys don't look straight at me, guys. Can you skip every Valentine's Day, birthday, holiday, and just say, well, it's just another day on the calendar? So I think I need to wrap up this seminar. I'm getting some guys in trouble. I'm getting myself in trouble. So you got to recognize and reward the success of your people so that they can feel great about being there. You know, Jeffrey Gilbert said, all things being equal, people do business with people they like. Then he said, all things being not equal, people still prefer to do business with people they like, respect, and trust. Make sure you're that type of organization as well. So make sure, whether it's on social media, make sure you spend time with the Dale Carnegie guy and their business consultants to see what they can do to help your organizations be a thing. This, I think, is a great first start. Invest in your company. I think some of the greatest challenges I find to do this for 20 years is that people always think training is for other people. Well, yeah, that's good for my boss. That's good for someone else. But how do you stay on your A game? You got to work at it. You got to invest in yourself. You got to feel that you're worth the value of investing in. Here's what I believe. When you know your why game, your A game becomes apparent. When you know your why game, your A game becomes apparent. So just post it. I want to show you a final video that I'm introduced Mr. Fonso back up.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are 2 people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do, is it?
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he could fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
So do not let this be you. That's me. No. When you sit there and you wait, you know, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Let me give you the definition of insanity to the second power. This insanity definition to the second power. Expecting other people to do something different and you wait to get different results. So let's get out this escalator. Let's quit saying engagement is the other team's problem. Engagement is something else that we have to do. Sometimes we have to do the exception. I want to close with a quote, and I'll turn it back over to Mr. Mitchell. It's as simple as, I believe that being an exceptional leader, father, parent, mother, child, contributor, is a choice. It doesn't happen by chance. And I have this quote that I remind myself of every morning I wake up whenever I choose to do anything. And it simply says this, and I'll leave this challenge to you. Averages are for average people. Statistics are for static people. The norm is for normal people. But the exception is for exceptional people. When you want the exceptional result, you have to be willing to do the exceptional thing. What makes all of you exceptional, that you took time from your work, your business, and everything else, you just didn't come in here and talk about I want a good time. You look at what you can do to do differently. When you choose to do things differently, do the exceptional thing, guess what you get? The exceptional result. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ercell. Thank you very much for leaving that pleasant, cold climate with all the snow and all that to come down here and enjoy the sun with us. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
We have enjoyed your wisdom, your knowledge, and your expertise, and we will use it to change our environment, to change our workplace, and to make our companies more efficient. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vishnu Durga, for assisting us here in facilitating this event. And thank you all for coming. I just want to add one more thing to what has been said so far, is that we know that human relations, the appropriate interaction between people, we know that that makes us happy, creates a more pleasant workplace, changes the culture of companies. We know a lot of these things, but we have not internalized them. We have not put them under our skin. We have not allowed them to seep into our unconsciousness in order to automate them as we act. And this is what we do at Carnegie. We have the secret to get this thing under your skin, to make it become a part of your unconsciousness, so that when you act, when you work, you don't have to think about it, it just happens. Okay? This is the expertise. This is the extraordinary thing about Carnegie. Right? That we have the secret to make this thing a part of you. That you don't have to think about the human relations. That you don't have to think about the principles of engagement. You know, that it will just happen once we work along with you and we show you how to make these principles a part of your life. And you will never be the same again. So you have our address, you have our names on the brochures that we have shared with you. And we look forward to see you speak with you. If you can't come to us where we are, we will come to you. Just give us a call. Thank you very much.